Yo, how's everybody doing today? It's your boy Airboy, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Mega Bloks Constructs Drogon. Well, not this Drogon. We already looked at this Drogon. As neat as this Drogon is, it is nothing compared to this Drogon. It was one of those classic I saw it and just had to have it type deals, you know? This thing is, yeah. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I absolutely love this thing. Now, of course, before we go into detail about this thing and why I love it so much, we're going to take a quick look at the box. You see, it is a big box. I have to move it way back on my table just to fit it all in frame. The Mega Bloks Constructs, Game of Thrones, Black Series, Daenerys, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and Drogon. You see, it says there, 89.2 centimeter, also known as 35.12 inches for the wingspan, and I'll confirm that at the end of the review. The side of the box, nice little image of Daenerys Stormborn, I believe that's her name. Again, I never saw Game of Thrones, but I love dragons, so this thing was a must-have. And at this point, I'm thinking I probably will end up watching Game of Thrones if I can find someone who has all the seasons on DVD, because I do not have HBO. Now, here's the back of the box, some product shots, Daenerys, Drogon, some Drogon poses, another set you can find. I don't know if I'll grab that one, probably not. Some shots from the show. And Drogon looks pretty badass. To my understanding, he's the largest and strongest of her three dragons. This side of the box, not really much to look at. Bottom, not much to look at. Not much to look at the top either. Except that little image of Daenerys petting Drogon, which is adorable. And there's a few spare parts still in the box. Very nice that they sent a few spare parts. Now, I don't know if the spare parts count to the total, but if you didn't see it on the box, this guy has this set has over 700 parts, if I recall. Oh, let me look at the box. Alright, I don't know if it applies to the spare parts in the box or not, but altogether, there are 735 parts. I don't know if it makes up just this individual set, or the set and the spare parts, but 735 parts. I was going to record me building this thing, but the process took putting this thing together took like somewhere between 3 to 5 hours, and yeah, there was no way I was going to fit that on one video. I was not going to be able to do that, not with the limited recording setup I have now. Perhaps in the future, when I have a better setup, I'll do a more appropriate building series for building toys, but as I am, no way I'm going to be able to do that. Now, before we take a look at Drogon himself, as you can see here, strapped on his back, is Daenerys, the mother of dragons, and that is literally the only thing I know about this character. Again, haven't seen Game of Thrones, probably will watch it sometime soon though. I'll go ahead and remove her. We'll take a look at her first. As you can see, she is a little Mega Bloks figure. Now, they're not that much bigger than Lego minifigures. You know, hold on, do I have one right here? No, but I got one on the shelf right here. So let me grab that. As you can see, Mega Bloks minifigures aren't that much bigger than Lego minifigures. A little comparison there for you. And just because I have them sitting here, here she is next to a Kratos Mega Bloks figure. Now, she's got some nice molded detail. One thing I like about the Mega Bloks minifigures over the Lego ones is that they look more realistic. So, like, if you're a stop motion enthusiast and you work with, like, you know, Transformers or something, Mega Bloks minifigures are a pretty good stand-in for human characters. Lego is good, but if you want something more realistic, Mega Bloks would probably be the best way to go. Granted, there's not that many Mega Bloks sets that feature just basic civilian-like characters, but if you want like military soldiers or something like that, Mega Bloks definitely has you covered. Anyway, she does have a little, she's got a little rubbery dress. And she also has this little rubbery chain around her torso. Articulation is a little limited on the head, just due to her long ponytail, so she can't look that far up. She can look down a bit, though. Look left and right, about that far. Shoulders, do a full rotation. Okay, maybe not. Well, maybe not a full rotation. Okay, yeah, they can do a full rotation. It's just a little tight. And go out about that far. There is rotation right below the bicep. A little over 90 degrees worth of elbow bend there. Let me adjust the brightness a bit. Not on her. There we go. There is wrist articulation as well. Was there something at the waist? I don't think that... Okay, nothing at the waist, unfortunately. There's a little rotation at the thigh, though. Legs can go up that far and go back. About that far. She can only spread her legs about that far. She has a little over or exactly 90 degrees. I want to say exactly 90 degrees of bend at the knee and nothing at the feet, unfortunately. She's a neat little minifigure, but she is not the reason I bought this set. He is the reason I bought this set. Let's get into Drogon. Now, as you can probably tell, the majority of the piece count goes into this guy. And, yeah, a very long but very satisfying build. Like, I've messed with Lego and Bionicle sets and a few Mega Bloks sets ever since I was a kid. And honestly, out of all of them I had, with the exception of some Bionicle sets, this guy is probably one of the best building toys I've ever owned, and easily one of the most detailed ones as well. Let's get him up a little closer to the camera. As you can see, he's got a very lovely smile. A little bit of grayish paint, some orange for the eyes. Teeth are painted, and even that tongue is painted in a nice dark red. I do like that. You can see he's covered in these neat little spikes. I am more of a Lego guy, if only because I grew up on that stuff, but one thing I will give Mega Bloks credit for is detail. Their sets do tend to have a lot more detail than Lego does. These fins here are made of a rubber-esque material. Actually, I think they are rubber. Yeah, they are rubber. As you see, the majority of the build is made up of gunmetal, grayish colored pieces with little bits of bronze and red here to break it up a little bit. Like, if you're a stop-motion enthusiast and you need a good dragon, this guy will definitely do the job. He has the basic body build of most popular dragons. Now, I know there's a lot of dragon pure... Well, probably not a lot, but I'm sure there's going to be at least one or two guys watching this who are going to be like, this is technically not a dragon, that's a wyvern. Well, they called a dragon in the show, so I'm going to call it a dragon. Suck it up and deal with it. But yeah, he has a basic build of some popular dragons. Like, if you have, like, the Lord of the Rings Lego sets, this guy could pass for Smog. Like, yeah, he does kind of look like him. So yeah, if you're a stop-motion enthusiast and look for a good dragons, and look in the search for a good dragon, this will probably do it for you. Not just in terms of look, but posability as well, because he has got a lot of it. A lot of detail, a lot of... Like, really, the only parts of him that look remotely like a building toy is the tail. And, yeah, really, the tail is the only part. At first glance, you probably couldn't tell it's a building toy unless you get, like, really close, with the exception of that tail. From any angle, you can tell it's made of building blocks. No, from a distance, at first glance, you couldn't really tell if it was a building toy or not. Anyway, back to posability. He's got a lot of posability. About as much posability as he does fine detail. There is a ball joint connection at the head, right there. The jaw can open and close. There's a ball joint connection at this neck part, as well as this neck part. You can adjust these handles that Daenerys uses to ride him up or down. I'm probably just going to toss Daenerys in a drawer and leave these handles like that. The shoulders are on ball joints, so you got pretty much wide range of motion there. The elbows are also on ball joints. I gotta raise the camera because this guy is pretty big. Shoulders are also on ball joints, but due to the way they're positioned, they are limited to about that far up and down. However, they can move that way quite a bit. There's a ball joint at the thumb claw, and as you saw, when I spread open his wings, each individual wing, finger, whatever they're called, they're all on separate ball joints, which allow the wings to spread that well. You can open and close the wings, and it looks very natural. Granted, the underside of the wings don't look that natural, but the backside, they do have a very nice color pattern to them. That looks stunning. The wing membrane is made up of like a cloth, and it doesn't feel that strong, I will say. That's one minor problem. I feel like this cloth might wear and tear if you handle it like an animal. So, really, I wouldn't recommend getting this for like young kids. But if you're a collector like myself, then by all means, treat yourself. As long as you don't treat your collection like an animal. Alright, where was I? Oh yeah, articulation. The legs are on a nice ratchet joint. I think it's a ratchet joint. I don't know, I didn't really get a good look at it as I was putting it together. Sounds like a ratchet joint. Nice and tight, and it can go all the way around, and these parts here on his hips do move up to accommodate that, which I do appreciate. I'm trying to get the large-ass wing out of the way so you can see. The lower legs, well, this part, the thigh doesn't rotate, but there is rotation at the knee. And that ball joint allows the leg to move up that far, back that far, the left and right that far. There is a ball joint at the foot, and the foot, each individual claw is on a ball joint, so he can open and close his talons. And the thumb claw is also on a ball joint as well. I do love that he has articulated feet, so if you have a way to suspend him in the air, you can make it look like he's swooping down to grab something, and I do like that. Alright, and the tail, it's no SH Monster Arts, but you can get some pretty decent looking poses with the tail. Ball joint here. I'm going to quote Jobby the Hong on this one. Ball joint here. Ball joint here, ball joint here, ball joint here, ball joint here. Now, I think just one more tail segment, like right around here, would have been nice, just to give it a little bit more of an organic look with the tail posability, but overall, it's not terrible. Like, you can get some pretty good, and I mean pretty good, natural-looking poses out of this guy, and he has a very impressive wingspan. I'm going to measure it myself at the end of the review, but I got a feeling that box might be correct about how long he is. Like, I can barely fit it all in frame. I have to pull my camera way back, as far as I'm willing to pull it back, and I still can't fit it all in frame. Now, one of the main gripes I do have about the figure is, like, again, it is a building toy, so if you have an accident or handle it like an animal, it is possible to lose parts. Like this middle part in the chest here, it pops off pretty easy. And I felt something pop loose just now. Yeah, this part here on his back has a tendency of popping loose. Like, again, it is a building toy, so if you're not careful with it, you might lose parts. some things I might end up super gluing into place, because I do not plan to disassemble this guy anytime soon. That is one gripe I have. Another gripe, really, that's one of only 3 gripes I have. The second gripe I have is, well, I wish he came with some kind of stand or wires to hang him up so you can put him in like a flying pose. Like, I would not mind having this guy soaring over every other part of my collection. Like, I'll probably end up going somewhere to buy some cables or small wires and just hang him up in my living room somewhere above where I have the rest of my collection put up, because really, this guy needs to be in the air to show off those really big, powerful wings. Alright, that's my second gripe. I wish he came with some kind of stand or wires to properly display him with. My last and final gripe with the figure is, unlike his smaller version, he does not have a flame effect part that plugs into the mouth. Now, you could probably jerry-rig, if you have multiple Mega Bloks set or Lego, like, for the most part it is compatible. I do see a little port in there where you could probably plug something in, but as the set is, he does not come with any kind of fire breath effect part, and that would also really help for displaying this guy. He does breathe fire. I did see that much from videos on YouTube and trailers for the show, which I'm definitely going to have to see now. Alright, we're getting close to the end zone here. Honestly, I didn't think I'd be able to make a near 20-minute review of this guy. Boy, was I wrong. Let's get to some size comparisons here, shall we? Alright, here he is with the NECA Spyro the Dragon. Just so you can see how he compares to another dragon. Here he is with his younger self. Yeah, and I thought this thing was awesome. This thing, if this thing is awesome, that thing is godly. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. I'm just picking random figures to do comparisons with, just to give you an idea of how big it is. Here he is next to Studio Series Off-Road Bumblebee. He towers over Bumblebee. Here he is with another building toy, the Lego Bionicle Kopaka. And again, just because I had him sitting here, here he is next to the Mega Bloks Kratos. You know, something I wouldn't mind Mega Bloks taking a whack at, if they could get the license to do it, they should take this toy, remold it a little bit, make it a bluish gray color instead of red. It could pass as Alduin from the Skyrim series. I would not mind having a toy of that thing. Alright, well, I think this pretty much wraps it up. Now, measurements, there are multiple ways I can measure this guy. On all fours, which is the natural way he walked into show, he stands at about, well, I'm going to raise his neck up as high as I can. If you have him walking on all fours with his head perched up as high as you can get it, and still having it look natural, he stands at about a little under 7.5 inches. Now, at full length, from the tip of his nose to the end of his tail, I'm not going to be able to fit it all in frame. I mean, I probably could, but I don't want to try. Anyway, from the nose tip to tail tip, he is about a little under 22 inches. Now, let's see if the box is right about that wingspan, shall we? I gotta spread him. Alright, wingspan. Furthest claw. Oh, yep, the box was about right. It's a little over 35 inches. That is what, damn near 2 feet? Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. Almost 3 feet. That's almost a 3-foot wingspan. This guy's about as big as some birds of prey. Oh, anyway, there you had his size. And at the time of release, he was going for about $69. Now, do I think he's worth that price, and do I think he's worth picking up? Worth the price? I mean, maybe. I mean, I think a price range of around $50, $60 even would be more fair. But, you know, $69 is a price I guess I'm willing to pay. Now, is he worth picking up? Hell yes. I hope to God you can find him for cheaper than $69 like I did. I got lucky. And if you can, definitely pick this guy up. Very well detailed. Lots of articulation. I mean, really, this thing is one of the best building toys I have ever had. And I am so happy I finally picked this guy up. I absolutely love this thing. If you can find it for less than $69, definitely treat yourself and pick it up. It is time consuming putting this thing together, but the result is worth it. That said, this has been the Mega Block Construct Drogon. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button, leave a nice comment, enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do next time. I got a couple ideas, but you know, the way I usually do things here, I'm pretty much making it. Anyway, until then, I will see you all next time. Again, awesome. Pick it up if you can find it for less than $69. Bye-bye.